Hi, I had the privilege of visiting all 200 pavilions at Expo 2020 Dubai from 1st October 2021 to 31st March 2022. This global event brought together innovation, culture, and collaboration on an unprecedented scale, featuring 193 country pavilions. Each showcased unique ideas, technology, and cultural experiences. In this video, I'll take you inside the pavilion. So if you missed it, this is your chance to experience the culture, innovation, and creativity of the world in one place.
Hey guys, welcome back to my vlog. So today, we're visiting one of the most unique looking pavilions here at Expo 2020 Dubai, the Belarus Pavilion. And honestly, this one immediately caught my attention from far away. Like, look at this structure in front of me. It rises up almost like a futuristic forest tower in the middle of the desert. The entire design is around 15 meters high, and the entrance is surrounded by these glowing green structures that look like giant plant shoots or trees growing upward. And I'm not gonna lie, at night, this place looks even cooler. The theme of this pavilion is Forest of Future Technology, which honestly sounds very dramatic, but also very interesting. And the idea behind it is actually beautiful. Belarus is comparing humanity to a forest, saying that trees grow stronger together, connected through roots, and humans should work the same way through collaboration and shared growth. So this pavilion is built around three ideas: innovation, investment, and individual. Basically, technology, progress, and people. And apparently, they also wanted to bring the feeling of Belarusian forests all the way into Dubai. So, let's go see how they did that. Okay, we just stepped inside, and immediately the atmosphere changes. The lighting becomes softer, greener, calmer, and honestly, it really does feel like entering some kind of digital forest. There are sounds in the background, nature-inspired visuals, reflections everywhere. And the space feels surprisingly immersive. And okay, this pavilion is definitely more artistic than I expected. It's not screaming "look at our technology" every 5 seconds. Instead, it mixes emotion, art, and technology together, which honestly makes it more memorable.
So next one starts to.
I live in Belarus Pavilion, the largest ancient forest in Europe, which is one of the oldest reserves in the world and is included in the list of World Heritage of Mankind. My country is called the lungs of Europe, not only for its vast forests, but also for a large number of swamps, rivers and lakes. There are about 20,000 rivers and about 11,000 lakes in Belarus. You can feel it by walking along the water lane in our pavilion.
Now technology.
Recently, Belarus is increasingly referred to as an IT country. We are one of the top 30 software development countries in the world. You can get acquainted with the latest development of Belarusian scientists, 4D bioprinter, in the investment area of the pavilion.
Now the art.
Belarus is proud of its scientists and art workers. Thanks to the first printer, Francis Corina, Belarusians were one of the first in Europe to have their own printed Bible. A world-famous avant-garde classic artist, Mark Chagall, was born in Brilliance. Now in the city, the international art festival Slaviansky Bazaar is held annually, where the representatives of 5 continents participate. Our pavilion presents an art object created by Belarusian artists and wholly with the Belarusian artworks.
Score.
Belarus is rightfully considered a sports country and constantly holds a position among the 20 strongest powers in the world participating in the Olympic Games. champions and medalists. The country also hosts iconic sporting events. In 2014, the World Ice Hockey Championship was held in Minsk.
Alright, now we're entering the innovation zone. And this is where the future technology part becomes more obvious. Belarus actually presents itself here as a growing high-tech and innovation hub, which honestly might surprise some people. There are displays about scientific research, smart city projects, renewable energy, IT development, and advanced engineering systems. One project they highlight is something called Turbosphere. And basically, it's an energy-saving power system focused on creating electricity more efficiently and sustainably, which honestly is a smarter way to think about sustainability. There's also a huge focus on urban planning and smart cities. One example is the Minsk Riverside Project, a vision for future city living where green spaces and technology exist together instead of competing against each other. Every country talks about the future, but the interesting part is how they imagine it. Some imagine hyper-futuristic robot worlds. Some focus on sustainability, others focus on culture and identity. Belarus seems to imagine the future as something connected, organic, and collaborative, like a forest ecosystem. And honestly, that's actually a pretty strong concept. Another thing they highlight here is Belarus's IT sector. And I didn't realize how involved they are in software development and digital innovation. There are displays explaining how Belarusian companies contribute to global technology industries, engineering systems, and agricultural technologies. And they also focus on food security and sustainable farming systems, which honestly makes sense because agriculture and forests are such a huge part of their identity. So throughout the pavilion, there's this constant balance between nature and technology, tradition and innovation. And visually, they blend those ideas together really well. Alright, now we're reaching the cultural and entertainment section. And honestly, this part feels much warmer and more lively. Sometimes they have live folk performances here with traditional Belarusian music and dance, and the costumes are Right in front of me is something called the Tree of Knowledge. And honestly, pictures do not do this justice at all. First of all, this thing is huge. It's around 9 meters tall. And it immediately becomes the center of attention the second you walk into the space. This entire piece is handmade by Belarusian artist Kristina Vysotskaya. And when you get closer, you realize how incredibly intricate it is. At first glance, it just looks like a beautiful tapestry. But the longer you stare at it, the more you start noticing layers inside the artwork. The tree itself symbolizes growth, wisdom, and connection, which fits perfectly with the whole pavilion concept of people growing stronger together like trees in a forest connected through roots underground. Also, something I really appreciate is that they didn't make this feel overly digital or futuristic. In a world where every pavilion is trying to impress people with giant LED screens and robots, Belarus decided to make one of their main highlights a handmade textile artwork. Everything around it, nature, technology, innovation, collaboration kind of connects back to this one symbol. And standing here, it really makes you slow down for a moment. I think the Belarus Pavilion is one of those places that surprises you. Because at first glance, you might expect something very technological and futuristic, but actually, it's much more emotional and artistic than that. It's about connection. Connection between people. Connection between ideas. Connection between nature and progress. And honestly, I think the forest metaphor works really well. Because forests survive through networks, balance, and cooperation. And maybe that's the bigger message they wanted people to leave with. That growth doesn't happen alone. So now I'm really curious if you're from Belarus or have visited before. Tell me in the comments, what's something about your country that people completely misunderstand or don't know enough about? I genuinely love to hear more from people who actually live the culture every day. And honestly, after seeing all of this, I'm really happy I got the chance to learn more about Belarus here at Expo. And I truly hope one day I can experience the real country for myself. Alright guys, that's it for today's vlog. Thank you for exploring the Belarus Pavilion with me here at Expo 2020 Dubai. And if you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to stay tuned because there are still so many more incredible pavilions, cultures, and experiences waiting for us. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.